may know them as Log Cabin and the Lucky Taco. Give it up for Slave and Otis.
Kia ora, everyone. How are you?
Kia ora, NZVMA!
And kia ora, New Zealand.
Ladies, my name's Mark. This is Otis. To all the kids who might not know us, we were once teenage rappers.
We used to be famous. Fuck all young.
But it's not about us. Ladies and gentlemen, 20 years ago, in this town, in a galaxy not so far away, there were a group of teenagers, talented teenagers, who started making a big noise in the Auckland, Ponsonby specifically area.
We'd gone to high school with most of these cats, and we'd seen them sort of come up, be crazy and be noisy, and then shit got a bit crazy because they went from house parties to proper like adult gigs.
Yeah. I mean, they were legends. They were like young kids. They played famous venues like the Glue Pot in Central Auckland, places like Java Jive in Central Auckland, and they were just kids. The only reason they could play was because they were so talented. And before long, after only a few years, they became a Aotearoa phenomenon.
And this was no fluke. They were the hardest working band in the land, really. We toured with them, and it was like New Zealand caught a real dose of Supergroove mania.
We saw it for ourselves. We were lucky enough to tour with them. They asked us along to tour with them. They would offer, the boys would do 2-3 shows a day often. They worked real hard. We would get chased down the street in vans, flocks of girls chasing the van as they jumped into the van outside Invercargill.
They weren't chasing me and Slave.
No, they weren't chasing us.
They were chasing the other guys.
So last night, I said to my two daughters, I said, hey, I pulled out my coveted, check this out, I don't know if the camera can get this.
Genuine 1994.
94
Still
style.
on Slave's fridge.
Still on my
today.
fridge, I wear it proud. This is one of my most coveted pieces of New Zealand music merchandise. It is a Supergroove fridge magnet. And I said to my daughters, I said, this is what we're doing tomorrow night, check it out. Do you know these guys? And they go, no.
And so the thing is about this award tonight, it sort of recontextualizes old school people that really put in the effort and made some sort of massive impact on the Aotearoa music scene. It's like, this is the Legacy Award, ladies and gentlemen.
So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves while we watch a video relaying the legendary achievements of Supergroove.
New Zealand Herald Legacy Award. At the turn of the 90s, Supergroove exploded onto the local scene with a heady mix of funk and hip-hop mashed up with metal guitars and an absolutely phenomenal live show. They were talented teens beyond their years and recorded some of the most iconic New Zealand songs of the 90s, winning them 7 Tuis between 1994 and 1997. Inspired by specialist blues radio programs and classic film The Blues Brothers, the band members were still at high school when they started out as the Low Down Dirty Blues Band. Their shared love of early hip-hop meant an inevitable move toward funk, and they marked their new sound with a change of name on New Year's Eve 1989. Supergroove arrived with a sound that was funky, heavy and unstoppable. So when they found commercial radio wouldn't play their music, they simply booked more shows and reached out to their audience directly. In '94, they released their iconic debut album, Traction, taking out the Tui for Best Album at the '94-95 New Zealand Music Awards. From there, the band went from strength to strength, releasing a string of Kiwi classics with You Freak Me, Scorpio Girls, and Sitting Inside My Head, hitting the gold standard, and Can't Get Enough, going platinum. The album itself hit #1 in the New Zealand charts and stayed there for a month, eventually selling over 70,000 units. Following the release of Traction, they undertook an extensive world tour, starting in Asia with a free show in Mumbai to a crowd of 4,000 and selling 35,000 copies of Traction in Indonesia alone. During the global touring, they started working on new material. It was only when they returned home that they decided to make some changes, which resulted in Shay and Tim leaving the band and the remaining 5 members continuing for second album Backspacer. The album spent 6 weeks on the chart, peaking at number 2. It wasn't to last, and in late 1996, the band decided to call it quits. For the next decade, all of the band members pursued various musical paths, but Supergroove retained a fond place in the hearts of music fans. Finally, in 2007, a promoter approached the band members to reform for some shows, which led to a tour support with Crowded House and a headlining slot at the Big Day Out in Auckland the following year. Playing just for enjoyment once more, the band shows were filled with that trademark Supergroove fun and good energy, and audiences came out in droves to see them play. This summer sees them hitting the road again on the Winery Tour with fellow New Zealand music icons Dave Dobbin, Don McGlashan and Anika Moa. Recorded Music New Zealand is honoured to be presenting the 2014 New Zealand Herald Legacy Award to Supergroove.
So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, stand up, make some noise from the front to the back. You in the top seats, you in the cheap seats, stand up.
Everybody in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Make some noise for this year, 2014, the New Zealand Herald Legacy Award winners, Supergroove.
I'm the newest member of the band, so I get to speak first. Firstly, I'd like to thank these guys for being the kookiest cats I think anyone could be in a band with, and for all the hard work they've done. It's all right. Otis just fell off stage.
It's okay.
He gets down. He's all right, He really gets down. I'd like to quickly just say a big hi to Joyce and Vinny at home. They'd appreciate that. My sisters Hayley and Julia, of course. But also I'd like to do a big shout out to just New Zealand music in general. Because as a kid growing up, you pretty much want to copy who you see. So for all the bands that came to my small town of Kawerau, Kia ora Kawerau, the Mockers, the Dance Exponents, God, everybody from that particular area. You all inspired me to be in a band, and thank you very much.
Kia ora, everybody. Whakalawhalea te kimatolosi. What's going on? Brothers and sisters, there's so many people that we as a band would love to thank, but I think we need to start with the people who put us on the map, and that's our collective parents. So to the Supergroove mums and dads, thank you very, very much. We love you. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you. Sadly, 2 of our family members aren't here with us today. They are in spirit, so we'd also like to accept this award in the honor and in the memory of Di Stewart and Richard Fisher. Thank you.
And I'd just like to thank Paul Russell, our original drummer, and Stuart Broughton, our manager, who really took us to New Zealand, and also the people who really brought Supergroove to life, which was the audiences who came to venues, destroyed venues, got the fire hose turned on them. Nick, I'm looking at you. Anyway, and brought the records and just brought the mayhem that became the Supergroove thing. It was very special. And thank you, you guys. It's been great growing up when we were young, making music with you all.